Today, on Focal Point, labor and how we get there, we will touch on the topic of workforce development. We're going to get private insights into a private production company. We will talk about working at the bookstore, and we will show you how the CCP Career Hub can help you to become the CEO of multi-billion-dollar company. Stay with us. Hi, I'm Bethany Ann.
And I'm Andreas. Welcome to Focal Point, the magazine show about the Community College of Philadelphia on CCP TV, the Emmy Award-winning educational channel at the college. Bethany, today we're going to talk about work. And when I think about the word work, I think about labor as well, which apparently comes from the Latin word labor, which stands for trouble.
Yeah, when I think about that word, I think about really hard, physical, exhausting work. Andreas, do you remember when you started your first job?
So I don't really know if that actually counts as my first job, but when I was 15 years old, I started as a fitness instructor at my local sports club. But then my real first job was actually right out of high school. I was 19 and started to work for the German health insurance system, for their public health insurance system. What about you, Bethany?
Well, how ironic that I'm wearing yellow because my first job was at McDonald's, but I guess my first real job was at Janney Montgomery, a financial advisory firm. Now, it seems like we are both starting a whole new career path here at the college, and that is the case for so many non-traditional students here as well.
True, Bethany. And the college is equipped for that. Well, I should say that is not only for non-traditional students, but for every student that is working on their career and needs to figure out where to go after graduating.
Correct, Andreas. The college is offering different services for planning your pathway past CCP, whether you transfer to a four-year college or go right into the workforce. CCP has different counselors that can help you to figure out what works best for you.
Our team went out and observed an entire seminar for new incoming students to help them find their pathway to success. We spoke to our counselors about how they will help students here at the college to start and finish their education. Let's take a look.
Tonight's event was an adult information night. What a lot of folks don't realize is that the growth of our country and actually the growth of our globe, of our world, is dependent on non-traditional students either completing or beginning their higher education. So many come in and start right after high school, but then life happens, right? Things get in the way. They get married, they have kids, other things may occur. And they want to come back and they want to finish this degree, and they're very passionate about that. They know that now is the time, and it may be the only time for them. So we want to help them to be able to complete their education. I was a non-traditional student, and I know the value of getting your education, moving forward, getting all that you want, and then, of course, going on for those career dreams.
We have a great Career Connections, Career Services program here at the college. Ayanna Washington heads that up. She brings some fantastic opportunities to the students here, and they get a chance to meet with employers, get interviews, and find other opportunities. So it's really a fantastic program to help students identify where they can find job opportunities.
Actually, a student can go into that office even before they graduate to just determine where would their fit be. So they can do that, and then after they graduate, they most certainly can go in for advice on what careers they should be looking at and move forward, getting help with their resume, interview skills, and so on. There truly are no words, in all honesty, for the rewarding feeling that I get, as well as probably just about everybody in higher ed, when you're helping students move forward in their life. You know that you're giving them a gift. We all know that once someone has their education, no one can take it away from them. And I emphasize that with the students.
It's a very rewarding thing. Like, I started working in higher education actually just right out of college, and I fell into working in admissions almost by accident. I started off in institutional advancement, alumni affairs, but then they asked me to cover at my previous institute, they asked me to cover a college fair, and I got such a great thrill out of talking with prospective students, finding out what their passions were, what they wanted to do to change the world. And I take a great deal of pride working at admissions. I help students figure out what their next steps are. It's just a very rewarding situation. Now, not everyone always remembers the admissions person that helped them get into college or helped them through the process, but at the end of the day, I know I've done a lot of great things and I've worked with some incredible students.
You know what, Bethany? I am a non-traditional student as well. I was actually out of high school for 8 years until I came back to CCP. And I have to say that I think that CCP was the right school for me. But now let's shift the topic a little bit. Bethany, I know that you are having kind of a production company going on with your music career. Is that right?
You wouldn't even believe it. Like even in writing my music, I write it in the car. And I meet up with friends and we record demo tapes and references, and then I get to use a lot of resources from Rec Philly.
Okay, now that's interesting. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, their call to action was there was never a place for us, and so we created one. It's like a gym, but for artists, located in Center City. As a member, you get to use their equipment. They have a dance studio, a recording studio, even a photography studio, and you get to teach. They teach you through the workshops, and it's this thing called Room to Room where they get a group of artists and photographers, performers, and you get to create anything within a short period of time. And then at the end, you get to present it to different groups.
Wow. Sounds threatening to just, get together with all these strange people and then you have to create something in such a short period of time. Although I should say it might be beneficial because some people really need this pressure to create something beautiful.
I guess, but sometimes it's a common misconception that working under the pressure will help bring out the most creative ideas. Harvard Business School professor Teresa Annabelle found that most of the research that's been done on the topic so far is contradictory, and that time is definitely not on the side of the masterminds.
What bad news for our procrastinators, I would say. Bethany, now that we are talking about all this production process to create something, why don't we have a look at our next segment? We took a look at Denise Wortham's production company for young creatives, and we will see how she trains the next generation to create, think, and actually take the time to create something so beautiful. Let's dive in.
My name is Denise Wortham. Well, I'm the director of On Stage Productions, Inc. What we do is we take children, mostly, of all ages, and we kind of introduce them to the performing arts at an early age, whereby giving them an experience with the arts and giving them an opportunity to come into the arts at an early age. And hopefully they will learn to love and appreciate the arts. And we want to find out what it is that you're capable of. So we give them all the room. One minute they're dancers, the next minute they want to play instruments, or maybe this person just want to open and close the curtain. Most of my children grow up to either be professionals in the arts or either, aspire to be journalists. And the parents say, that's the last thing on my mind. I am not spending that kind of money for you, on that. So my thought was, in my community, we have a lot of budget cuts and things like that in school. So the performing arts is the last thing that usually comes with the schooling. So after school program, I try to give the children a taste of the performing arts. I have so many children who are successful right now that have grown up, that are grown and talk to me all the time, and I just think that's what it's all about. Very tragically, at a young age, my father was murdered when I was 10. And yes, and so that affected me personally as a child. And if it wasn't for the arts, I really believe that the arts saved my life. As a child, I was always very, very creative and always had some, in fact, all of my brothers, I'm the only girl in my family, we all had a creative household. Somebody knocked on the door and said, "Can she come and dance with us?" And my mother would say, "Well, how much does it cost?" And the lady, at the time, was, "Oh, nothing, it doesn't cost much, don't worry, we have it." And so that spirit, I never forgot that. And so with the help of my neighbors and my churches and community programming, I went on to graduate from the University of Arts. And I just never forgot that. I think that's my calling, to go back into the community and get children and anybody who really want to do the arts. Well, the seniors, this is different. They hired Denise Wortham to do this job. soon as I got here, and that was like 11 years ago. Same thing with the children. These seniors are wonderful. And I said they need to perform. And it's through performing on stage and learning scripts is so much value to them because it's cognitively, it keeps their mind sharp. It gives them a reason to get up and walk across, be physical. And laughter is just good for the soul. So we laugh about everything. We talk about every aspect of being a senior you can think of. We talk about it all. This is a purpose-fulfilled life. I have been doing this so long. I don't remember when I wasn't doing this. It's a wonderful thing to be me. I think it's a wonderful thing to come to work every day and play. Our whole setup is that we try to give performing arts little to no cost. We try to keep it so that all families can participate, and that there's that excuse that I used to hear, I don't have the money for you. That's too much money. That would never be to stop a child from coming to take a class with me. So that's mostly. Yeah.
I think that this is a wonderful idea, especially since schools are taking out so many extracurricular activities. It's crazy. Kids need this, otherwise they end up doing the wrong thing. And I love how Denise creates this space to give kids some form to express themselves.
That is really beautiful to see, and I love to see the opportunity for young artists to strive. Maybe we even create the next Oscar winner. Go Philly! Bethany, let's shift the conversation to another institution here at the college. Do you know who or what Follett is?
Wait, that sounds familiar. You said it's here on campus, right? So maybe somewhere in the cafeteria?
Take some steps to the right and you're right there. It's the CCP bookstore. At the end of November last year, beginning December, we transitioned from a bookstore that was run by Barnes & Noble to the new store under Follett. And Bethany, have you been to the new bookstore?
Yes, it looks a lot more organized and it's a lot more spacious. I even brought my laptop from there, but there are fewer college gear in the store.
Really? Interesting. I have to check that out. We also have some new CCP Pride wear since we revealed our new mascot last year. Rawr.
Our very own and loved Rory, the first non-binary college mascot in the United States. Can you feel the roar, Andreas?
Absolutely, ooh yeah. I've met them at several events here on campus and we even danced the house down together. But we are drifting off. Let's get back to business.
Oh, that's such a great buzzword. Let's find out how our bookstore here at CCP works with their employees.
I wonder what kind of jobs they have to offer.
So my name is Jamal Parker, and I'm the course materials manager. I work for a company called Follett. So at this particular location, I've been here for about a month, but I've been with Follett probably about 23 years. The most important thing about workforce development at the bookstore is proper training. We have new employees that are starting. As far as training goes, we start off with teaching them how to unload the trucks, get the proper counts, where to bring the books into the bookstore, how to unload the books, how to check for accuracy in the counts. We show them how to look up the course information to put the book on the correct shelf. And then we also help them to navigate through the computer system that's new, so it'll help them get more adapted to the bookstore and how we do things so that the store will run smoothly.
My name's Trace Ball. I'm a humble team member at this Follett bookstore. Here at the bookstore, the most important thing about workforce development is that everybody is maybe not taught the same way. Maybe the team members' learning styles, so they're not just thrown into a rush period or like they don't know what to do, they can't answer certain questions. My training was kind of abrupt because they just needed people right then and there. They showed me one task and I worked from there because I just asked, what else you need me to do? And they told me like step by step. For me personally, when you go from beginning to end, at least 3 times, I get it. But maybe for another person it might take longer. So just being patient with your team so they can be better. the whole work environment. We have many cashiers, and then we have people down here answering people's questions about the books. So higher ups help lower level bookstore employees become more efficient. We're basically just going step by step from beginning to end, not skipping the middle and everything like that. As long as you keep that same level of consistency, it's fine.
We help employees become more efficient by teaching them how to not cut corners, follow the system, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 1, 3, 6, and 8. That's pretty much it. Teach them from the very beginning to the middle to the end, and then go over it with them over and over again until you feel comfortable with it. Higher positions at the bookstore that you could advance to. You start off probably as a cashier, could move to a course materials manager, assistant. You could be an assistant store manager. You could be an operations manager, and you could be actually a store manager. So if you want to work in a bookstore and move up, there are definitely avenues to move up as long as you show that you can, handle it.
I love how he said humble employee.
Aren't we all, Bethany? All right, so we've talked about 2 companies and workforce development already. We heard about how CCP helps you to build your pathway, and now let's graduate.
Wait, what?
I was thinking about the support CCP offers to get yourself ready for the job market.
Oh, right, you're talking about the Career Hub at CCP.
Absolutely right, Bethany. Have you ever used it before?
I did not, because I'm currently on the entrepreneurial route. I like making my own money. How about you, Andreas?
Yes, I did. They helped me to polish my curriculum vitae, CV as you would say, and uploaded it into their career portal. Employers have access to the portal and will post vacant job opportunities.
Okay, so it's like the LinkedIn of CCP.
That's a great analogy. Yeah, absolutely right. Bethany, don't we have a video about our career hub?
Absolutely. Let's see how CCP sets you up for the real world and how you can gain access to CCP's LinkedIn.
My name is Ayanna Washington. So I'm the director of the Career Connections Department. I've been with the college for 6 years, and I've been with the Career Connections Department for 3 years. When I first got here, one of the things I noticed right away is that we didn't have a lot of engagement day to day with our students, and that was very kind of disheartening to me. And so I thought, how do we get more students in here? And so I started looking at ways that we could both engage more students, update our innovation and our technology that we were using, and then providing the training resources and tools so that we could actually match what we were saying we were capable of. And so when I first started here, the department was called the Career Services Center. And under Dr. General's leadership, he made a decision that he wanted not only the department to be renamed as the Career Connections Department, which was a little more consistent with the industry in terms of our goal and his goal of ensuring that we connected with employers and not just connected with student resources, but giving students access to employers. We implemented the new systems at the end of 2017 going into 2018. Those systems were all implemented as single sign-on systems, which meant students could actually log in to MyCCP, and once they logged in, as soon as they logged in, they had access to those systems right away without having to set up a whole new password. Within 3 months, all 3 of those systems that we implemented had quadrupled the amount of activity. The ultimate goal right now is to continue to engage employers. One of the first changes I made was we developed a form called the On-Campus Recruitment Form. That form was a carbon copy document that allowed the employer to keep a copy and for us to keep a copy so that our office could actually follow up with students. It gave us an opportunity to engage students that probably didn't even know from the onset that we were a part of it. People didn't know who we were. Even if they did, a lot of students complained about coming all the way over to CBI to use us. We service both incoming students, current students, and alumni. We support the KEYS program. We partner with them to offer those students specifically interview techniques, resume help. Students who engage in experiential learning opportunities are 67% more likely to be hired. So our ultimate goal is to prepare, empower, and connect students to the world of work in every possible way. Workshops, employer events, we do info sessions with employers. We've increased the amount of classroom presentations we do. Students can take up to 3 workshops with us, and as a result of taking those 3 workshops, they can then gain access to exclusive networking events with employers. How do we take care of the holistic student? Like, we prepare you, we get all that stuff done. and then you don't have clothes to wear on your interview. So last year, Comcast did a professional development opportunity. They had all of their executives donate suits, shirts, clothes, slacks for males and females. Recently, we've identified a few additional organizations, who I won't name yet until we put those agreements in place. But there's some pretty big ones, and if we can get this going, it'll give access to students across majors. It won't just be for one particular major. So we're really, really excited about that opportunity.
I'm really looking forward for these new jobs to be posted on the portal, because right now it seems like only certain majors are favored in the portal. So make room for some journalism and what's the other one? Liberal arts.
Yes, mass media pride, Andreas. Maybe I can help you and teach you more about the entrepreneur route.
That's an interesting idea, although I'm not sure if I'm the right fit for that. But I'm happy to learn from you, and see, that's the great thing about CCP, because we have such a diverse student body here, so we can learn from one another.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. You have been watching Focal Point, the magazine show about the Community College of Philadelphia on CCP TV, the Emmy award-winning educational channel at the Community College of Philadelphia.
All the segments today have been produced entirely by students in the digital video production curriculum here at the college. I'm Andreas.
And I'm Bethany Ann. See you next time.